Hi, welcome. My name is Karen Lyons, and this is another edition of Chair Yoga. A little bit of maintenance first before we begin. It's always good to have a chair on a solid ground, whether it's on a rug. Today I have mine on a mat. Preferably it's without arms. However, if you've got one with arms, it's okay. And today we're going to be working more on our shoulders. So we're not going to need a lot of props, but I do have my blocks right here. And the blocks are really great for helping to bring the floor up to us. So if you don't have blocks, it's okay. You can use a couple of books or a box or anything that helps to bring the floor up to you. I also today have a bolster and a blanket, and we may use those for Shavasana. But anyways, put your coffee down and get yourself in a chair and we'll get going, okay? So today what we're going to work on, like I said, is our shoulders and the rotacuff into this area and strength. And what that helps us do is keeps our sternum lifted, and the lift in the sternum, of course, then helps with the alignment of the back, and then also, gives us that nourishment that we need in our spine. So our shoulders really work a lot for us. So if you do have any shoulder injuries, just be mindful. Make sure that you can only do what you feel that's right for your own body. And then there's always, a little bit of modifications that we can do as well. So we're going to get started, okay? So we're going to start with our little pranayama. And today what I'd like to do is our 4-box breathing. So what that means is that we're going to take a breath into the count of 4. We're going to hold it for a count of 4. Then we're going to exhale for a count of 4. And then it's another hold for a count of 4. And if you feel that 4 is maybe a little bit too much for you, you can certainly bring it down to 3. And then, of course, if you feel you want to bring more breath in and you want to increase it to 5, you can do that as well. But 4 is the sweet spot. So let's try it with that, okay? So it's a nice inhale through the nose for 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to hold for 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Now exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Couple more. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. And hold, 2, 3, 4. One more. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. And exhale, 2, 3, 4, and hold, 2, 3, 4. Then just take a nice normal breath in and a normal breath out. So what pranayama does for us, it's a nice way. Pranayama means life force. It's just a nice way of bringing the breath in and practicing the breath. We don't really pay much attention to our breath throughout the day, but yeah, it's what sustains us. So in order to bring in more breath and more energy into the body, we want to bring in more breath into the body. So it's a great way of just kind of playing around with the breath. And there's all different types of pranayama you can practice, and that's probably one of the most simplest ones. And it also helps take the mind off off your to-do lists, off your always jumping ahead, making out your laundry lists and your responsibilities and things like that. So this gives you a chance to kind of settle in. It's great to do right before meditation, if you do a practice of meditation. And of course, it's a great thing to do before you get up, or in the morning when you first get up, and then before you go to bed night. So just play around with your breath. It's a great tool for you. All right, so having said that, we're going to sit up in our chair nice and tall. We're going to have our feet planted firmly into the floor. And, you know, just go ahead and really ground your feet in. You should be about halfway off the chair. That way there you can feel your feet, right? Get them nice and solid. If for some reason the chair that you're in is a little bit too, high and your legs don't quite meet the floor, then grab the bolster or a blanket and just slide it underneath your feet, okay? So you want to really feel grounded. The other thing is you want to actually, feel your thighs, feel your quadriceps. So you can do that by pushing your feet firmly into the floor and kind of almost pushing your kneecaps forward a little bit, and then you'll feel the engagement in those thighs. And then, of course, once you feel that engagement, you're going to feel it in the buttock bones and in the abdominals. So you want to pull them in as well. So we're going to sit here nice and tall, kind of wiggle your shoulders around a little bit and soften them down, okay? And then start to feel that broadening in the collarbone, right? Lifting up and just kind of focus straight ahead if you can. And again, it's just that breath of yours. Just take it in, take it out. Okay, good. And then we'll start. So what we're going to do is we're just going to drop our hands down. And I want you to feel the fingertips. Bring the hands a little bit wide, right? The fingers are open. And just feel the energy flowing down through those fingertips. Almost like somebody's pulling down on your wrists. And as you do that, you'll feel your shoulder blades soften a little bit. And those shoulder blades start to come in a little bit on that spine of yours. Still sitting up nice and tall as we, breathe through this, right? Engage. You feel very regal here, like the Buddha within, right? So just kind of sit up nice and tall. Good. Then what we'll do is we'll flip the palms of the hands so that you get that external rotation. Just feel what that does to the upper shoulders, right? So then bring the palms of the hands back, resting and relaxing like a rag doll, right? Let them be loose. Then engage them again, pushing the fingertips down and just rotating those thumbs back. Feel the elbows roll back, and you can really feel that broadening in the collarbone. You can feel your shoulder blades squeezing towards each other, right? And then go ahead and soften that fold again and let them dangle, right? Let them be loose, okay? And then again, flip the palm, but this time bring the hands, start to bring them up slowly, and think about reaching from your armpit. As you start to reach the arms up, try to get them as straight as possible, right? And then really reaching here, and then reach from the armpit and squeeze those shoulder blades towards each other. Okay, you feel that nice lifting. So the shoulder girdle's being lifted by your arms, right? And then go ahead and flip the palms again, nice and slow, and just float them down again. All right, so we're going to do that again. We're going to flip the palm first, raise the arms up about halfway, reaching out from the armpit, squeezing those shoulder blades towards each other, and pull that belly button in. Right, the rib cage is lifting, right? Lifting out of that pelvic bowl, reaching here. Good. And then flip the palms again and just float back down. So far, so good, huh? All right, here we go again. Flip. All right, reach them out, okay? Now this time I want you to just tap the top of your head. So you're going to tap the top and then open up, and then tap the top of the head and open up, and tap and open. One more, tap and open. Beautiful. Now flip the palms again and float them back down. All right, maybe roll your shoulders just for 1, 2, 3 rolls. Good. And then flip the palms. Here we go. Back up again, reaching. Okay, and again, try to get those elbows straight if you can. This time we're going to tap our shoulders 4 times. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, Last one, and 4. Good. Open the arms, flip the palms, and bring them down. Okay? Next one, we're going to come up. We'll tap our shoulders, but this time, keep the elbows up and try to tap the elbows a few times. So here's 1, and then open up wide. Feel that collarbone broaden, and then tap and open, tap and open. There you go. One more. Tap and open. Beautiful. And then unfurl, unfold your hands, right? Flip the palms and bring them down. Good. And then maybe roll the shoulders back again. A couple of times, right? Okay, here we go. This time, bring those arms up, right? This part you should be getting used to, right? And now we're going to bring the hands up a little bit higher, maybe in a V. Now, when you're here, don't bring your shoulders up. Drop them down, all right? Then flip the palms of the hands and float them down, all right? And then again, flip the palms, reach in that V. Flip and come down. And then this time, see if you can't reach the arms right up over your head. And again, be mindful of where you're at. If this is too much for you, just slide your hands down behind your head, okay? And just reach up here, okay? Fingertips are facing one another. The palms are facing one another. I'm softening through the shoulders. I'm lifting up. My chin's away from my chest. And I'm still breathing here. Bringing that breath in, maybe to that 4 count. Nice inhale here, nice exhale, and then float those hands down one more time. Good. And then this time, bring them all back up. And we're going to clasp our hands, press through the palms, and really reach up now. Try to get nice straight elbows, chins away from the chest, right? Try to draw them back a little bit. Keep that breath of yours going. Keep the belly button in. Nice strong movement here. Not a lengthening in the spine right here. Nice big breath in, nice big breath out. Beautiful. And then float the hands back down. Right? Good. And then give it a good little shake. And I got one more for our arms, and that's going to be floating them up halfway. Palms are facing upward. But then you're going to rotate one hand around as much as you can so that the palm's facing up again. And then you're just going to do that to the other side. You're going to rotate it around, flip it around, okay? So you go back and forth, wringing out your triceps, right? And your biceps. Back and forth as best you can. There you go. Good. And then float the hands up and then float them down. Beautiful. And shake it up. Now, what I'd like you to do is you're going to clasp your hands, but I want you to try to do it behind your back, okay? So you're going to clasp your hands right behind your back and then press your knuckles down towards your chair, all right? So now you're really opening up through the collarbone. All right, so press those in. Now, if you can't get your hands clasped behind your back, it's okay. Just maybe, grab like a bear claw or your wrist, right? Or even like you could put your hands in like a back pocket, like right in your back pocket, okay? All right, but if you get them clasped, go ahead and press the knuckles towards the chair seat, lift up through the chest, broaden through the collarbone, right? Nice and tall. Then what I'd like you to do is slide your hands over to one hip, okay? And then look and gaze towards the opposite shoulder. So I've got my knuckles on my right hip as I'm looking over my left shoulder. Then I'm going to come back to center, bring the head back to center. I'm going to unclasp, maybe shake your hands out a little bit. And then reclasp it the opposite way. So that means it's going to feel a little funny, right? So clasp your hands opposite, and then go ahead and press those knuckles down again, lifting up nice and tall. push the feet firmly into the floor too. That's important. And then go ahead and slide the knuckles over to the opposite hip, and then look over the opposite shoulder. So this time I'm looking over my right shoulder as my knuckles are resting on my left hip. Okay. And then bringing those hands back and shake that out. Beautiful. Good. All right, let's give the shoulders a little bit of a break, and let's just warm up through the hip a little bit. So we're going to be doing like an angle pose and a little bit of sweeping with our hands. So let's just open up a little bit by rolling in our hip joint. This is always a good thing to do. Work that big hip joint of ours. Make sure your feet are nice and firm on the floor. And these don't have to be big. You can make these small, okay? They can be very small little rotations, or you can make them very, very big and really get the shoulders involved and the entire torso involved. And if they are big, I invite you to take the chin back towards your chest as you make that rotation towards the back of the chair, okay? And then maybe pause and go swing around the other way. It's kind of warming that hip joint up. Okay, good. Beautiful. All right, so now we're going to get some movement in with our hand. So what I want us to do is slide over to one side of the chair if you can, and then you're going to slide your foot out at an angle. Now, you can come onto the heel, okay, or come onto the foot. All right. Now, but don't go on the foot like this. Don't have your ankle, because that's going to compromise your ankle. So we don't want to do that. All right. It's either going to be this way or up on the heel. So majority of us like it to be on the heel. So I'm going to stay on my heel today anyway. So maybe on this side. Okay. Then I'm going to reach over as far as I can. So I'm just going to reach, getting the length. And then I want to bring my body back a little bit. I don't want to reach over and forward. I want a nice straight spine here. So I might not get over as far, right? But that's okay. I've got a nice straight back, and I'm reaching over as far as I can. Then I'm going to sweep my hand down in front of my shin, right? And roll around. Now I can put my hand on the chair for some support, or on my hip. Or you can even hold on to the chair itself, all right? So reaching over, you can have even your hand behind your back. Reaching over, then sweeping the arm up and around, right? Kind of almost follow the gaze of the thumb. Reach over, sweep it around, and one more. Reach over and sweep it around. Beautiful. And then we'll just take that right to the other side. So sliding over, slide the foot out, okay? And remember, either like this on the heel, okay? One way or the other. And then you're gonna reach the opposite. And again, use the chair for a little bit of support and guidance. Don't be forward. You wanna kind of lean back a little bit and reach over, okay? Let that foot that's bent in front of you be nice and sturdy on the floor, and then down in front of that shin, reach it up and around. I think we did 4, right? Reach and down and around. You're gonna get a little bit of a rib cage rotation here, and as long as you've got the length, that'll work for you. Reach and then down and around. And of course, we're working the shoulder too. And then come back in and tap it out. Okay. And then take a nice inhale up and exhale it down. All right. So we're going to kind of do the same movement, only this time we're going to take it into what we call angle pose. And I'm going to use the blocks for that. So we'll start on the right. I'm going to take my knee in, give it a good squeeze. And then I'm going to step it open to that side. Once again, I'm going to take my leg out to the side. I'm going to bring my block on the inside. Okay. Now we start here like in a warrior 2 posture. And Warrior Two that's a really great posture to do. It kind of cultivates some stability and strength, confidence, you know, like a warrior, right? You bring that confidence in. So we're gonna sit up, and again, there go those arms again. The arms are gonna go out straight. And this time I'm gonna look over the middle finger, gazing over that finger, and this is where that, you know, stillness comes into play. Just kind of aligning yourself, reaching. And then now this time, I'm gonna bring the hand down on top of the block, okay? The arm is gonna sweep down like a big pendulum of a clock, and I'm gonna rotate it around, kind of follow the gaze of the hand, and then down and around again, right? And then let's stay here, and then maybe bring it up and over our ear, okay? And then what you can do is come down and around this way a couple of times, down and around, and then come right back up into that Warrior Two, looking over those fingers. Okay? And then bringing your hands together at your heart, and we'll just try to take that over to the other side. So again, I have a block on this side. And if you don't have a block, let me show you if you don't have a block. Let's take our knee in first, kind of give it a good squeeze, and then go ahead and open, and then bring this in. So if you don't have a block, what you can do is just lean your hand and your forearm over your thigh, or if you want, you can place the arm on the inside of that leg. If you do this, I would suggest that you press the leg into the arm and the arm into the leg. And then if you do have something to bring the floor up, you're going to place it right on the inside of that ankle, okay? So here we go. Hands are at our heart center. We're going to reach out, gazing over that thumb or that finger, right? Then I'm going to bring my hand down onto the block, and then this back hand's going to start to sweep up and around. So up and around, following the gaze of the hand, working that shoulder, up and around, right? And then maybe up and over the head. And here is where you'll feel that beautiful stretch on that side body from the armpit, really from the fingertips, really, all the way down to the toes. And then now I'm going to sweep it down towards the floor. And one more, and then when it comes down and around, I bring the body back up, and we're back into that warrior. And breathing, right? Good. And then I'm going to bring my hands back together and bring the block over there, and then just take that nice inhale up, and then just kind of bring those arms back behind my backside again. Knuckles are also like pushed towards each other, right? Or the palms, or reach in, or just the back pockets. And then now you're just going to hinge forward a little bit and try to bring those arms up a little bit. Let me just go to the side so you can kind of get an idea of what I'm doing here. So I have my hands like this, I'm reaching, pulling, right? And then I'm just kind of lifting a little bit, okay? Squeezing those together. And then you're going to come up nice and slow and gentle. All right, good. Now we're going to take our hands again. This time we're going to practice hugging in a eagle posture. So we're going to reach the arms out, and then if you can, grab hold, right? And then lift and come down. All right. And then come back up, unwind, go the other side. Lift, and then down. Maybe your elbows touch your thighs, maybe they don't, it's all good. Good, and then come up. All right, now I'm going to do eagle arms for our shoulders and our back. And if you can't quite do this, then just do what we just did with the hugs. But I'm going to take my right hand and cross it over elbow, and then I draw my fingertips together. So it's almost like I'm tapping my shoulders, but I'm going to bring my fingers together, and I'm going to hook my left hand into my right palm, okay? So eagle arms, okay? So we're reaching here, and you're going to reach those elbows up, right? And then the same thing, you're going to come down, and just like you're drawing with your fingertips, a nice straight line, coming right down as far as you can, and breathing, okay? Now the thing about this is the more you push your forearms together, the more you're gonna feel it in your back. Feel it right at the top of those shoulders. It feels really good, especially like if you've been on the computer most of the day, or you know, on the phone, on your cell phone. It just gets that nice, those trap muscles get nice and stretched. So, and then we're gonna come back up, reach. Maybe you take a slight little back bend, and then come back, and then unwind, shake it out, okay? And again, if you can't quite get there, then it's okay, you can just cross at the elbows. So we're gonna try it to the opposite side now. So my right, crossing over, right? Here we go. And then I'm going to lift up, and then drawing a straight line from my forehead, right down, and then just hang out here. And here's where you want to really squeeze those shoulder blades away from your ears as you squeeze the forearms towards each other to get that nice stretch. Reaching those arms up, and then unwinding and shaking it out. Okay, and then again, maybe rolling the shoulders back a few times, and then maybe forward a few times. Good. Alrighty, so now we'll take those arms out one more time, right? And we'll see how we do with our twists. So we had touched our head, so let's just, we touched our shoulders too, so let's just touch our shoulders, keep the elbows up. Now twist over to one side. Try to keep your knees in line with one another as you do this twist. Twist should come right from the rib cage, right? So your knees stay in line with one another. And then we come back, and then we twist to the other side. Try to keep those knees stabilized, those feet firm into the floor. And then come back, and then twist again, lifting up. Come back, and then twist. Good, and then take those arms down and shake it out. We're gonna take our knee in again, take that knee in again, right? And then this way here, if you have the chance to cross it over your leg, go for that. Otherwise, cross at the ankle, okay? You're gonna cross there, hold on to your knee, right in the front, right in front of that shin, and then draw yourself right on up, nice and tall. We're gonna take the right arm out, okay, reach it there, okay, and then we're gonna reach it up to the ceiling, all the way up. Beautiful. And then you're gonna just bring it right back down, okay? So it's gonna go out and up and down. And again, out and up and down. Beautiful. Now take the other one, reach it out, but this time bring it over that knee and take a nice generous twist. So the twist goes over to the opposite side, right? The knee, right side, I'm looking the right side, and I'm twisting. And then we're gonna come back, okay? And then we're just gonna do that again. We're gonna go up and out and back, okay? And then we'll take that knee in and we'll take it to the other side. So we're gonna come in, cross it over, sitting up nice and tall, and that comes up, and we come out. Okay, and bring it in, and then maybe out and up and down, and then out and up and down. And let's just do one more. Out and up and down. Good. And then maybe this one comes out all the way, and then it's going to swing right around for you to take that twist. Lifting up nice and tall here for the twist. And breathing. And coming back to center, and then unwinding, tapping it out. All right, so now take the arms, and we're gonna fold them up like I Dream a Genie. And I think most people might remember her. And we're gonna hold up nice like this. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna work our core. We're gonna use the hands to kind of help stabilize us. So we're gonna come back and roll on the backs of our sits bones and tuck our chin in. Now your feet are firm on the floor. And then when you draw yourself up, you're drawing yourself up with your abdominals, not the shoulders. The shoulders are out of it. So you're gonna roll back on your sits bones, tuck your chin in, and then come up, okay? And then roll back again, and then come up, and then roll back again. Hold it here for a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Roll it on up. Okay, unwind, rewind, opposite hand on top. Roll it back. This time, walk your feet out a little bit further, and then roll it up. And then roll it back, pull in those abdominals, keep that chin lifted and tucked in a little bit, and then roll back again, and come up, and then roll and hold. Hold it here for 5, 4, pull your belly in, and 1, and then come back up. Beautiful. And then unwind. Bring your feet back in a little bit, maybe tap them. You're gonna go back again. This time, you're gonna bring one knee in as you roll back, kick the leg out, and then come up, and then roll back again. Slide that foot in. Roll back, knee up, knee out, roll up, roll back, come in, okay? Now just do knee and up, knee and up. Do a knee, do a kick, do a roll up, roll back, roll in. Roll back with the knee, do a kick, roll up, drop the foot, roll back, and roll in, all through those abdominals, and then drop those hands down, shake it out a little bit. Maybe a little crisscross applesauce after that one, right? All right, and then we're gonna inhale, the hands are gonna come all the way up, and then come all the way down again, right? And we're gonna lift up nice and tall. And we're going to start with that triangle pose now. So that's that star pose. We're going to come right on out. Our heels are going to come out. Our arms are going to come out like a nice star, right? And then I'm going to come down on one side again. Reach the arms up, right? A lot with the arms today. So really reach them up. And then come up and then seesaw right on over to the other side. Reaching right on up. And then again, seesaw and come over. And then come up and seesaw and come over. Good. Good, reach those arms up and then come back in, and now we got our goddess arms. So here we got the elbows, try to stay up as far as they can. As far as the shoulders, the hands are out, okay? And we're gonna bring the hands together just kind of almost like eagle, only this time the elbows are together. And then we're going to open up. And then we're going to come back together and open up and come back together and open up. One more, back together and open up. Beautiful. And then from here we'll do a crossover. A crossover is right over to the left, reach, 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 and then bring the arm back. And then on the other side, reaching, opening up that rib cage, coming back, reach, come back, reach, come back. One more, reach and come back, reach and come back. Beautiful. Open those hands, keep those goddess arms up if you can, right? And then drop them down and shake it out. All right, so we're going to close with a sun salutation, kind of using some of those poses that we just did. If you like, you can bring your block in front or something to bring the floor up to you. If in fact you get a little on the dizzy side, if you're suffering with any kind of dizziness or headaches, you don't want to bring your head all the way down. You want to only keep your head as high as your knees, okay? But otherwise you can just drop your head and follow along. So here we go. So we're going to use the goddess arms for this. It's going to be an inhale up. So sun salutations, we use our breath for the movement. So I'm inhaling here, and then I'm going to exhale. My hands are going to come down, okay? I'm going to inhale here, and I'm going to hinge forward like I'm looking out a window, right? Hang out here. Take a nice deep breath here. Inhale through the nose. And then as you exhale, bring your hands down to your block if you choose, right? And it can be at whatever height you need it, okay? Or your shins, okay? I'm going to press my hands either into the block or into my shins, or either in my shins or into the block. And I'm going to lift up a little bit. And then I'm going to exhale back down a little bit. Then from here, I'm going to sweep my arms back up. This is kind of like part one. And then exhale the hands back into that goddess. But this time we're going to come back into that star. We're going to reach out. I'm going to tip over to one side and come back up and tip over to the other side and come back up, right? Now I'm going to slide my foot in at that angle. Remember we did angle pose. You can drop your knee or your arm back down or use your block, right? I'm going to swing my arm around once and swing my arm around twice. I'm going to come up into that warrior two. And then I'm going to bring my hands back to heart. And I'm going to try this all over again, right? So I'm going to inhale up, come into that goddess, hinging forward, coming all the way down, taking that half lift, right? Sweeping all the way up, taking into that triangle, fallen triangle, they call this too, star into fallen triangle. And then coming up, sliding that foot in. If you need the block, bring it on over. Bring the hand up. Sweep it down. And sweep it down. Beautiful. And then coming right back up, goddess position. Hands come together. Hands to heart, okay? We'll try that round one more time. Here we go. Now make your breath work with you. So inhale, exhale, inhale here, exhale, hinge, inhale here, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, sweep up into that diamond star. Coming down, fallen triangle. Down into that angle pose. Sweep the arm down once. Sweep it down twice. All right? Come back up. And come together. One more round. Inhaling it up. Goddess. Hinge. Forward fold. Half lift. Forward fold or neutral spine, really. Sweeping up, star. Go right into it. And then down into that fallen triangle. Come up. Then I believe we got to go onto this side for the angle. Reaching the arm up. Sweeping it around for one. Working that shoulder for two. Right? Come back up. Goddess position. Hands come to heart. Beautiful. So, you know, having yoga is really about having an awareness of where you're at, where your body's at, where your breath is at, and just working, you know, simultaneously. And once you get that, it's can be very meditative. It can, you know, release the stress and the anxiety that you might be holding on to. And it might not even be your energy. It might be somebody else's energy that you're taking on. So who wants that, right? So let's get rid of it. And this is a great way of doing it. So we're just going to finish off the practice now with a few little neck rolls and work through the hands. Let's roll the wrists around a little bit because, you know, we did work through those shoulders a lot. Maybe clasping the hands again and just pressing out in front, right? And then maybe doing a little dipsy-do. And then reaching them out again, and then just kind of pulling on those fingers, unclasping, reclasping, same thing, reach them out, opposite. Reach them out and then pull on those fingers. So it's not like you're trying to get them apart from one another, but you don't really. This is really good for the fingers. We can do another one where you take the back side of your hands, right? Clasp them and then pull them this way, right? Feel that nice little grip, unclasp, and then just slide them down a little bit and do it again, right? Good. And then maybe open and close, shake them out, roll them around, right? And then bringing the hands right back where we started, right on our thighs, lifting up. And we're just going to take our head down towards our chin, towards our chest. And then just roll over to one side. Feel that stretch. And then gently roll to the other side. And again, keeping the shoulders down. They have a tendency to creep up by our ears and create the tension. And that's not really where they belong. They belong down on your backside. So right down the middle of the spine, back and forth with the head. Good. And then coming up. And then we're going to finish today with, I'm going to take the bolster and just kind of drape it on my lap here. And if you don't have a bolster, you know, roll up a blanket. You can roll a blanket up, or you can even pillows if you have some pillows. And we're just going to allow the body to drape down and over this, okay? And so it's just very relaxing, and I want you to feel like a rag doll when you're up and over this. So you're going to take that beautiful inhalation, reach the arms up, and then really maybe even get some length by climbing up a little bit. You know, get that side body, get those ribs to open, right? And then allow the body to hinge forward and just let the hands come down in front of you. And then you're just going to drop your head down in towards your chin. And again, remembering if you get dizzy, you don't want to go down so far. You could actually bring your hands onto the bolster with your thumbs and hold your head up this way, right on your third eye. The thumbs will support the head, and just open and allow yourself to relax this way. But you just hang here for as long as you want, okay? But when you do come up, make sure when you come up nice and slow and gentle. You keep your chin tucked in towards your chest, so that when you do come up, you don't get dizzy, okay? But just you do you. That's what's important. You do you, and listen to your own bodies, and start to have awarenesses. We know how big or small they are, right? They're awarenesses, and it's all good. So I want to thank you today. I'm going to leave you in your Shavasana. And so taking the arms up over our head, bringing our hands to our heart. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose, holding out through the nose, and holding. Inhale and exhale, thumbs to our third eye. And I'd like to thank you all. The love and the light that you continue to shine upon myself is the same love and light that I shine on you. Therefore we say, Namaste. Thank you.